Hi there and welcome to The Creator. Using the Creator platform, you can effortlessly build no-code 3D web pages, spatial product stories, and even interactive 3D PDPs. You can also take advantage of our generative AI features to create 3D models with a simple text prompt or even a single image. But hey, don't take my word for it. Hear it from our power user who has regularly been using the Creator platform to create these immersive videos and 3D web pages.
Hi, my name is Rajesh Haldar and I am a motion graphics designer. Recently, I have been going through the Creator platform from Avataar. It's a web-based tool that allows you to create 3D animations. It has a very simple and easy to learn workflow, so it's good for beginners who wants to try out 3D animations. Recently, I had uploaded a video for a fictional bike brand called Bumblebee, and I thought I'll just take you guys through the process of creating that. I had come across this amazing bike model on Sketchfab from prefrontal cortex. It had a good animation for the bike explosion view. It reminded me of the Transformer character called Bumblebee, so that's why I decided to create a fictional web page for that. So just download this model and then you can import it in the Creator platform for animating it. The first thing that we'll be doing is uploading the model into our platform. You go to upload object over here, click on it and upload the 3D model. Since I've already uploaded the model, I can find it under import object option over here. You go to 3D mesh, I'll find the new model that I've uploaded. It's right over here. Now that the model is loaded, let's add some light to it to make it look more realistic. You'll find light under property settings over here and light settings. These are preset HDRIs already added to the platform. I'll add this exterior light. This gives it a warm lighting and looks really good. Now that the lighting is set up, let's add a dark background. I have this gradient background that I want to add to the scene. So all you have to do is go to the interactions tab over here and click on image and add image. So the image is loaded over here. Let's just select it and move it back. I'll go down on the timeline over here and add a keyframe on the image position so that we lock in this position over here. You can go to the preview mode over here to see how the image looks in the final camera view. So right now it looks very tiny, we want to scale it up. So I'll just go back to the edit mode, select this and click on S. For the scale tool, you can find the shortcuts for the tools listed over here, and I'll just scale it up, make it really big. And I'll add a keyframe on scale over here to lock in the scale value. Now, if you see the preview mode, the bicycle is also too small. I want to make it big also. So let's select the bicycle model over here, scale it up a bit. But before I do, I want to delete the existing keyframe that is there so that we can add a new keyframe. So I'll scale it up a bit and I'll add a keyframe over here. Now I'll move it down so that you can see just the top part of the cycle. Something like this. And I'll delete the existing position keyframe and add a new keyframe so that the new position gets locked. Let's look at it from the preview window. Yeah, this looks good. Now we add over here the frame to the web page. So I've created an image for that as well. So this is a PNG image with the center part transparent through which we'll be seeing the experience, and we have a web page template on top and the rest of the area is black to hide anything else. We'll go to add image and upload the web page image over here. Yeah. Now that the image is loaded, let's first bring it ahead a bit. If we select this, we'll bring it ahead and add a keyframe on the position to lock its position. And let's check on the preview mode. Okay, we have moved it too much. Let's move it back slightly. You can click on the keyframes over here and manually move it back also. Maybe I'll make it 3.5, X value as 0. Yeah. Let's now scale this up a bit. So we'll add a keyframe on scale as well and just scale it up. Let's try some values. Yeah, this seems like a good framing for the website. Okay, now that we have the setup ready, let's now see how to animate the bicycle over here. The first thing that I want is for it to go up and come into the frame and fit in the center. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead on the timeline a bit, and then I'll add a keyframe on position and scale. So right now there is no animation to it. What I'll do is I'll manually change the value over here from -4 to maybe -1, and scale value from 3 to maybe 1. Okay, that is too small, so maybe 2.5. This looks good, but let's move it down a bit to -1.5. Yeah, this looks very good framing for it. So now you can see, if you scroll on the timeline, you can see the animation playing. So I want to add the name of the bike also. I'll add the text over here. You can add the text from here, and the text is visible over here, but you can't see it because it's the dark color. So you can click on this and change the color from black to, I want a yellow color. So I'll just use the picker and choose the color from the bicycle directly over here, and now you can see the text. You can change the font size as well. I'll maybe change it to 3, and font style I'll change it to Oswald, and change the name to Bumblebee. Let's move it back a bit so that it doesn't overlap. And go down timeline and add a key on the position value. Okay, when the bike is moving up, I want the text to also go back a bit and change its color. It looks good. One more thing that I want to do is I want to add a bit of gradient at the bottom half of the screen. So I'll just add one more image over here. We'll go down, add the PNG image. Yeah. So this is just a transparent image which has a bit of gradient to it. Just it will give a little bit of gradient to the image over here. I'll bring it ahead a bit, very close to the frame, and add a keyframe on the position. Let's just preview it, and we're going to scale it more. Just keyframe on the scale, and I want to scale it in the x-axis, maybe 3 times. Yeah, and move it down a bit by -1. Yeah, this looks good. So we have set the first animation in this scene. Now let's do one thing. Let's try and change the color of this text from yellow to black when it comes up. So what we can do is we'll go to text and add one more text over here, and we'll copy the exact same keyframes from the original text to the new text. I'll copy the text content also. The font, I'll make it Oswald. Font size 3, and as for the color, I'll make it a little dark gray so that it's just barely visible from the back. If you go down, you'll find the new text options over here, and I'll start adding the keyframe values from the original one to the new one. Now the animation lines up perfectly. Now it's just a matter of changing the opacity of the original text from 1 to 0 and revealing this one by changing the opacity of this black text from 0 to 1. So we check the opacity value of the original text over here. We'll click make a keyframe, go ahead on the timeline and add one more keyframe and make it 0. So it slowly becomes 0. Let's do the opposite for the other black text. We'll make it 0 over here and go ahead on the timeline and make it 1. So now you can see as it goes, the text changes from yellow to black. Cool. Now we have done the first part of the animation. I'll quickly add some more animations to this scene before we proceed. You can keep watching. Now we're going to add a bit of stats for the bike over here. I have some images already exported. I'll add the stats on a yellow background like this. So I'll upload this on the platform. We'll go down to image, add an image. We'll bring the image very close to the frame. Add it to the position over here. So we want to scale it in the x-axis. So we'll go back on the timeline. At this time, we want it completely out of the frame. Okay. Let's just add some stats over here. I've already exported these assets that I'm gonna add. So there's some basic stats which I've made up. I'll just upload all of these on the platform. Cool. Now we have spaced out everything properly. Now let's just animate them along with the background patch. Let's go back on the timeline and add a new keyframe over here on position. Copy the existing values. And for the y value, we'll make it -3. We'll repeat the same for the other ones as well. Cool. Now you can see the text moves along with the path on the back. There's also a slight bit of parallax, which looks really nice. Let's also add some animation to the scale value of it. I want it to become bigger as it comes in the frame over here. So we'll go back in the timeline over here and add the value keeper on the scale, make the scale smaller, and do the same for the other ones as well. So you can see now the text scales up when you play the animation. Yeah, this looks nice. So let's go ahead a bit. We add a little bit of pause over here. So maybe come over here. We'll add some blank keyframe on position. So now we have added a bit of pause over here, and let's go ahead a bit on the timeline. Maybe come over here, and we'll now move all of them up and out of the frame. So now you can see all of them moves up together. So we have finished the second part of the animation as well. Let's preview till now. Okay, so this looks good so far. Now let's see how we can bring the bike back into the scene over here. So the bike left the scene somewhere around here. So after that, we'll go ahead on the timeline a bit over here and bring the bike down over here somewhere. Let's go back to the edit mode and select the bike and bring it down. And we'll add this keyframe over here just so that we can see the position. Okay, and we'll move it to the left side over here. So in x-axis, we'll make it -10 maybe. At the same time, when the bike is going from this position to this position, what I'll do is I'll switch off the opacity of the bike to 0 so that we don't see the bike appearing somewhere in the corners. So I'll add a keyframe over here, and I will add another keyframe and make it 0. This way, the bike's motion won't be visible. Now we'll bring the bike into the frame from the left side and come over here. We'll add a keyframe over here, and let's first increase the opacity first so that we can see we have 0 over here, and we'll make it 1. Let's make all the values 0 so that we'll see what the default position is. Move it down slightly. Let's now move it to the left side mode so that we only see the wheel over here, and we'll also rotate it here. This looks perfect. Let's now see how we can hide the other part of the bike over here. I just want to highlight this part. So what I've done is I've created a PNG image like this, where the center part over here is transparent and the rest of them are black. So we'll be using this to mask out the bike over here. So let me just upload this image. Alright, so now it looks cool. We have only framed the wheel over here and everything else is looking black. Yep. So now let's add some data over here regarding some features so that it points towards this. I've already exported some images like this. You can see, like the wheel size, some other VSPs like this. Let's upload these images now. You can see the images are loaded over here, but they're not visible because they have gone behind the frame over here. So let's just bring it up. So the frame's position in the z-axis is 3. Let's just bring it up slightly more than that. We'll go down over here in the timeline. And add a keyframe and change the position to 3.2 maybe. So it's just on top of the image. You can see it's visible over here. We'll do the same for the other ones as well. Now let's scale this up and position this properly so that these are pointing in the right places. Now the texture position, I'll just switch up the opacity in the beginning and then rebuild them one by one once this thing is here. So we'll go back in the timeline and at beacon opacity, make it 0. Go ahead on the timeline, come over here and make it 1. Same for the other ones as well. Cool. Let's now see how it looks so far. Cool. This is great so far. We just have one more thing to do after this, and then this will be done. Cool. So we've made a lot of progress so far. Let's just take a quick look at it, how it's looking from start to end. Now let's do one more thing. What we'll do is we'll bring this bike model in the center and we'll then switch on the explosion view that we had seen before. But for that, first let's hide all of these things. Let's go ahead on the timeline a bit. We'll add a bit of pause over here for all of them. Now we'll go ahead on the timeline a bit and start hiding all of these things. And move the bike in the center over here. So let's add the position, rotation, and scale. So now let's see how we can add GLB animations to this model. So when I had shown you the actual model, it had the GLB animation where the model was opening, it was exploding, and you can see the internal parts of this model. So the way you can do it, when you upload the model over here, those animations are also getting uploaded along with it. And the way you can activate those animations is by going to the interactions tab over here and then going to object, and under then you find the animation options. You can click on that and you'll see the animation option over here. So what you'll do is just click on the checkbox over here and you get the option to animate it. Now the option to animate it will appear at the bottom over here. You will find GLB animations written over here, and you'll have only one option called visibility range. Now, when you put a keyframe on the visibility range, it will just switch on the effect over here. So you need to create a range for that. So I want it to happen over here. I'll click on the first keyframe and I want it to continue for some time. So I'll go ahead for maybe quite a bit on the timeline till here, and I'll add one more. So what you'll see is, if I scroll on the timeline, you'll see the animation happens. Let's slowly rotate this model also, bring it down slightly over here so that we can see the model clearly. Let's see how the animation looks so far. Okay, so we have come to the end of this tutorial. So the final thing that we're going to do is export this video. We can go to export over here and go to video and choose to render it. Hope you like this. Experiment with more features, more images and text. Let me also try some more, and I'll play the final video after this. Thank you for watching.